sometimes to invest in Africa, you have to forget Africa. The Nigerian banks know too much about Africa to invest, right? Because you have
they have the same numbers that you have,
No,
and
but
they
they
see
know
the
where
potential.
they know where dead bodies are buried.
you have to have a bad memory, right? And sometimes that bad memory ends up serving you right. Because if you have too much data, right, then it becomes analysis paralysis, right? Because I give an example. And Paystack is a model story, so you hear us talking about that a lot in the venture space. If any investor sits down here that invests in Paystack, you would hear that because that was a model story. Early investors made money, founders made money, employees made money. Shola is an investor in Voltron today. So it's come full circle. Companies have left Paystack to start new businesses and have raised venture. So it has catalyzed the ecosystem. There's no ecosystem without the Paystack story. So forgive us if we keep on
It's allowed.
If we keep on flogging that story. But the Nigerian banks, like I said, would say to themselves, at the time Paystack was raising its post-YC round, I think it was about 2 million, right? Some banks spend that on different events or different
meals across
different exactly. They can spend it on anything. But if any of those banks had invested, any of those organizations, and that's why I'm a big advocate of corporate venture, right? Because I think there's a lot of capital that we should unlock from corporate venture that can go into those companies. If one of them had invested in that round, and they would have easily done that for all of 200 million or 300 million naira then, right? Because what was the dollar rate? They would have done a crazy return, but then this time that money went to 10 cents and Vince.
But the regulation will not allow them, anyways.
Yeah, but maybe they can argue that. But then the other corporates, I'm just talking about corporate venture so we use
that
banks,
could have done that. Yeah,
and we talk about corporate venture in a whole. And now the banks creating holdcos are able to do certain things. So you find out that now everybody wants to do build their own fintech. Everybody wants to build their own things, and the lack of collaboration needs to be harmonized.
And they still come back to the fintech community.
I think what you find is that because you can't tell many of the corporates in Nigeria that they can't build these things, right? You're going to suffer to tell them that you can't build it. So I can hire now, and I can build this thing, and then they end up not being able to build it because the culture is still not the same. So. And then when they want to buy, they're like, who good I know? He's asking for how much? Who good I know? My front.